Would you say this has cottage cheese in it?
With a package of cottage cheese and just a few ingredients, we're going to make a bunch of easy and beautiful baked treats, and they don't even taste like cottage cheese. If you like easy recipes that surprise you without any hassle, stick around because this one is worth it, and then tell me what you think.
Look how moist they are inside.
Ricotta cheese, butter, egg yolks, sugar, all normal ingredients, nothing strange or hard to find.
Put 300 grams of ricotta cheese in a large bowl, which is one big package or 1.5 of the small ones. Just put it all in, nothing else.
Here I have the 2 egg yolks. As you can see, the cup has seen better days. Am I the only one who, when this happens, when it breaks a little, keeps the utensil just for things like this? For measuring, I mean, I'm a bit like that.
And it works for me. To take out the yolks and put them next to the ricotta cheese, we add 100 grams or half a cup of sugar, and I'm also going to add a pinch of salt to enhance the flavors. You know, you also add salt to sweets. The last ingredient for this first batch will be 100 grams of butter, but make sure it's soft so it's much easier to blend and turn all of this into a smooth cream. As you can see,
I'm adding the butter really soft. Ideally, you should have left it out of the fridge, maybe half an hour or an hour before. What if you forget? There's a trick that works pretty well. When you're preparing the ingredients, you take the butter, cut it into small cubes like this, and put it in the microwave for 20 or 30 seconds, then take it out. Some of it might have turned a bit liquid, but that's okay. You just keep adding the rest of the ingredients and it will gradually get the right consistency, so there are no excuses. Always make sure it's soft, it'll mix much better that way.
and like I said before, now it's time to blend it really well, so I'm gonna go at it until I get a nice creamy texture. You can do this with a hand blender or a regular blender. I'm going to transfer this mixture to a bigger bowl so I can add the dry ingredients later. I'm using a spatula or a pastry scraper. What do you call it? Some people call it mezquina or miserable.
Although the utensil I'm using
Mixer.
is this one, I'm starting to think it would have been more convenient to just put everything in here and mix it directly, even if it took me a bit more effort. What do you think? Would that have been a good idea? What's for sure is that it would save me from cleaning one more dish, and now we're going to add flour and baking powder. We used to call it yeast here in Spain, but actually, since it rises in the oven instead of before, you can't really call it yeast. So let's just use the name everyone else uses, baking powder. Pretty surprising, huh? It's not exactly a small jar, it's just that since I use it a lot, instead of little packets, I get a big jar like this, and don't have to worry about buying it all the time.
Like I said, let's start with the dry ingredients. 2 cups of flour go in, and after adding them, I'll also add a teaspoon of baking powder. I'm gonna mix all of this well with the same spatula. By the way, you probably told me before, what do you call it? The point is to keep adding until you have a manageable dough. If it's still sticky, like mine, that's normal. You're gonna keep adding a little bit of flour and repeat the process until you get that manageable texture. It should reach the point where you need to knead by hand, because today we're getting our hands dirty. So wash your hands well, get ready, because the final kneading is done like this, pressing it really well until you form a ball. As you can see, it doesn't stick to your hands and you can shape it. See? Perfect. Now we have the dough ready.
And now that I have the dough, what I'm going to do is cover it and let it rest for 15 minutes in the refrigerator. So it gets a bit more texture, becomes a little less soft, and is easier to work with inside. And no, it's not a long rest, it's just so it can be handled better, and I take advantage of those 15 minutes, of course. But for what? To start cleaning up what I just made a mess of?
Then we take them out of the fridge and we're going to work a bit carefully.
because what comes next is what makes them surprising. And save this video, because this method is ideal.
I take the lid off the container, and I'm going to split the dough into 2 parts. Yes, just as you see. And I'm going to work with each one separately. With this one, I make a little ball, and then we're going to roll it into a cylinder shape to make dividing it easier. Because from here, I'm going to make 32 candies. I'll explain now how I do it and how I make them more or less the same. I've divided the dough in 2, and each one I roll it out like this, forming a kind of cylinder. If you don't have a silicone mat like this, a little flour on a countertop will do. I cut it in half, then each half in half, and each half in half once more. This way, I get 8 portions, or 8 little balls like this from each cylinder, 16 in total. You may wonder why I say you get 32 candies if there are 16 balls. Here's why.
We take one of the balls.
We're gonna flatten it, almost like you're tossing them. Like making a turnover or a pizza, the idea is to grab a rolling pin or even a bottle and make a sort of circle, nice and flat, big. I'm gonna cut this one in half. Do you remember? I had 32 sweets as my goal, and I had 16 balls here. I have 2 halves. So for each ball, I make 2 sweets. And now, look, I split the half in each of them into 3 parts. These triangles are the ones that are going to give us the magic. Look, it's easy. I'm just gonna put them up here so you can see how I do it. And I'm gonna place one after another. It's that simple. I place it more or less in the middle of the little triangle. The next one doesn't have to be exact either. And then I roll it up by pulling from the tip. This way you get a shape similar to a flan. And if you want, you can do like I do and open the petals a little. See how easy it is to give it a different shape and leave people surprised. We're gonna bake them, keeping them a little separated on a silicone mat or on baking paper. And at 180 degrees Celsius or 355 Fahrenheit, always with the oven well preheated, heat from top and bottom. And in about 20 to 30 minutes, they're usually ready. But you can check by looking at them, because as soon as they start to turn golden around the edges, these wonders are ready. Let me remind you that with these amounts, I got 32 pieces, so I make them in 2 batches, and that's it.
There's no magic or trick. You estimate the time by eye. How? By looking at them. That's why I say by eye. When you see that the
tips start to brown,
take them out. It's that easy and that reliable. You can always be sure they'll turn out great. Oh my, it just came out and I got them too. Well, one tray is perfect and the other one, as you can see, is still baking. Don't touch them, they're still hot.
We'll do it.
We'll let them cool down a bit, and in my case, decorate them with powdered sugar and enjoy. Look how good they look, and you see they're really easy to make. What do you want to do? Cookies. You can make them flat, but this way you'll leave everyone amazed.
If you sprinkle a little powdered sugar on top, they look super professional.
Would you make them just like that?
Or stuffed? I hope you really like them, that you dare to make them, and if you dare as well. Let me know what name we're gonna give them, because I still haven't come up with a good one. So while I enjoy them, you think about it and help me out. I'm sure together we'll find a good name.